What's going on, conquistadors? It is Scotty the Chunky Spaniard. Intro, cool intro number 2 for Tuesday. Wow, 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 wow. And then like cool music made by my mouth. Here we go. Ooh. My desk again. Wow, my cool ball. Cyborg. Clocks that Greg made. Chicago Bulls. Seth the Warrior. Spin. Wow. What's going on, conquistadors? It is Scotty the Chunky Spaniard. Welcome back to Round Like Me, day 2 of our 5-day in a row series of, junior high, how I survived high school, how I survived junior high, all of these good things about back to school. So day 2 of back to school goodness in our 5-day series of going back to school. Now, why am I doing the weird cheesy intro? Because there's always this thought as someone who's trying to do well in a certain thing. Like if you're a band, you go by your influences or you're doing what might help break you into the scene. Some people call that selling out. I'm not selling out, I promise. But you watch all these huge YouTubers, vloggers, and what they're doing, and you're like, man, if only I could kind of get a little piece of that action that they're getting. And it makes you a little jealous, but I'm doing it my own way, and we're gonna still talk about school because that's what I am. I am a teacher, and I'm older, and I do not have the youthfulness of a lot of these up and coming YouTubers. And you know exactly who I'm talking about. And they're entertaining and don't hold anything against them. They're doing what they do and they do it well. It's just not me. So I thought I would just kind of do a fun, silly little intro. Today, we're going to be talking about advice for incoming 7th graders. So if you're someone going into middle school, this could be an incoming 6th grader as well, but at our school, they're 7th graders. We only have 2 years in junior high, 7th and 8th grade. I myself went to middle school down in San Diego, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, so this would have applied to me going into 6th grade. But this is advice. Now, this is not just advice that I have thought up. At the end of last year, and I've done this in the past, but at the end of last year, I asked my students, what advice would you have for incoming 7th graders? What do you guys, through the eyes of you, what do you think would be the best? And my kids really went nuts with it. They did a lot of color-coded stuff, and I mean, the lists were quite lengthy and really, really good things. Now, there were some things that were that overlapped, but even when I consolidated, I got almost 3 full pages of advice. And so I'm going to go through these today and Thursday because I really feel like there's some really, really good stuff in here. Now, one of the biggest areas that students deal with in middle school, in junior high, are friends. And so almost this entire page is friends. So today we're just going to talk specifically about friends, lunchtime, and sports. It's a quick one, okay, with sports, because it kind of ties in with what I said about junior hires a while back. So here is advice for incoming 7th graders or 6th graders when it comes to friends. And I'll read through the list, and if there's something that I need to expand on, I will. Rule number 1, these aren't even numbered. So the first thing that we're going to get to, if you wouldn't want someone talking about you behind your back, don't talk about someone else behind their back. Great advice. I mean, I think that's great advice for life, but really, really becomes heated in middle school. It's one of those, it's the golden rule. Treat others the way you want to be treated. And if you wouldn't want someone talking about you behind your back, don't do it behind their back. And I know, there are always those kids that are like, so what? I'd say it to their face that they're right here. Most of you wouldn't. Let's be honest, most of you wouldn't. You're just trying to talk tough. So don't do that. That's as simple as that. Don't be afraid to meet new friends. I've talked about this before, and I talk about this with my kids in the first week of school. Your group of friends is going to change. It will change, and it's not just going to change once, it's likely to change multiple times throughout the year. When you first go into your junior high, especially if you were in that district before, you'll gravitate towards the people you knew from your elementary school. But then as interests pop up and you get involved with sports or music or drama or any organization on campus, your friend group can change because you're going to realize, wait, I have something in common with that person, and I have something in common with that person, and that person is really cool. And so don't be afraid to meet those new friends. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there. And it may not work out, and that's okay. It's part of life. But don't be afraid to put yourself out there, make some new friends. Great advice. Make sure to find a group of friends that make good decisions. Oh my gosh, so important. So very important. Not only to find a good group of friends, but ones that are making good decisions. And we got into this conversation at the end of last year with some of my kids, and they realized that it was okay to kind of break away from kids that weren't making those good decisions. And they were like, yeah, it really didn't, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be to kind of just drift off. It's okay to not be friends with someone, even if they're like hounding you, if they're making bad decisions, things that make you feel gross inside. If you're doing something or they're doing something that makes you hesitant, that goes against what your parents have taught you, and you're like, we've all had those moments of hesitation, those moments of like, oh gosh, what am I doing? What's going to happen? Oh, mom would kill me or dad would kill me. If you're saying that to yourself constantly, you probably need a different group of friends. Okay? So make good friend choices, ones that are going to make good decisions. I had this talk with Butters the other day. We were on a walk with Buster, and a lot of his friends moved away from his school. They transferred out, including his best friend. And he was really bummed. He said Nathan was a really good friend, was a really, really good friend. And this is a little first grader. He's going into second grade, and he's already realizing he was a good friend. And so we talked about how he needs to be smart when adapting and choosing new friends this year. And he understands. He's a smart little dude. So same goes for you. Make good friend choices. Middle school is like a big game of telephone. I couldn't have said it better. That's probably the truest statement. The most truthful, the truest, I don't know. I think that they both work. But middle school is a giant game of telephone. You will tell one person one thing, it will balloon into something else. It happens even with what I say in class. And the kids are like, did you say this? And I'm like, no, I said this, but then someone else manipulated it into this and this and this and this. And if you haven't played telephone, it's that one game where you whisper something at one end and they have to repeat the phrase all the way down at the end. And by the end, the phrase is completely. The phrase is something entirely different than what you started with. You could have said, I love peanut butter. And at the very end, it's like, the Kardashians are the worst. Let's see. Don't get a girlfriend or boyfriend. You're too young for a relationship. I mean, seriously, it's not going to last. Let's just be straight up. Okay? Straight up now, tell me, do you really want to love me forever? Oh, oh, oh. But you didn't realize you were going to get some Paula Abdul, right? You don't need a boyfriend or girlfriend. Focus on having friends and having fun and just getting involved in school. And you don't need a boyfriend or girlfriend. The attraction's going to happen. You're going to see someone, and you're going to stalk them, and you're going to go be by their locker, and you'll be like, oh, I didn't know you were here, even though you've monitored every step they've taken all day long. But you don't need a boyfriend or girlfriend. It just adds to more drama. Way more drama. And then you don't want to be that person that's dated 50 different people by the end of first semester. No way. Be patient. You definitely have to be patient. Don't jump to conclusions. Don't freak out. Be patient. That's great advice. Don't listen to stereotypes. These were from cheerleaders, which goes down to the sports, that cheerleaders are not brats. Not every cheerleader is a brat, okay? There are a few. But don't listen to stereotypes. Make your own decisions as far as who you want to be a friend with. You want to be a friend with that person? Be a friend with that person. You'll realize they're a lot nicer than what they seem. You know, one of the nicest kids I've probably ever taught is now the star quarterback at our local high school and had multiple scholarships to other schools. You'd think he'd be that, like, have that jock mentality and, you know, just kind of be better than everyone else. But, I mean, this guy was getting calls from Nick Saban. That's how good he is. If you don't know who Nick Saban is, he's the head coach for Alabama. But, you know, he's the nicest kid and the kindest and the smartest. I mean, I can't say enough nice things about him. And every time I see him, he comes up, he's like, Coach, I was his teacher and his coach. And he'll hug me for like almost 2 minutes straight. He's just that nice of a kid. And so do not judge people based on their stereotypes. They might surprise you. Don't bring speakers to school. Kids that bring a Bluetooth speaker and think they're cool, you're not. You're like the 30-year-old dude that blasts his radio in front of an elementary school and then burns out his tires because he thinks that that's impressing elementary school kids or junior high kids. You're not impressive, you jerk face. You're just seeking attention. Get a puppy. If you need that much attention, get a puppy. It'll give you way more attention than you get from a Bluetooth speaker or for blasting your music way too loud. Plus the music is inappropriate and no one wants to hear your music. Go see my beach etiquette video. No one wants to hear your music. For reals. Don't forget your IDs to school dances. They'll kick you out. They'll just turn you away. They're not going to be like, it's okay this time. No, we got rules. Follow them. There will be a lot of rumors that will spread around the school, so don't believe it. There's always rumors. My first principal I ever worked for had this saying of, if you hear rumors, put them where they belong, in the trash. Great saying. Don't bully anyone. It's easy to jump on the bandwagon and start bullying people. Especially when a group of people is talking trash and you want to be in that group, so you just kind of chime in with something. Oh my gosh, yeah. And they're like, did you hear what she said about this? Or he said about that? Or did you? Yeah, and you just jump in with something totally lame. You're like, yeah, and like he borrowed a pencil from me and never gave it back. And you're waiting for that affirmation of people like, yeah, that was jacked up, man. Don't bully anyone and don't jump on the bandwagon when people are bullying someone. You have no idea what else is going on in that other person's life. And to bully them is just to, you know, put them in a box and it's just never good. So don't bully. It's bad. Don't get yourself in drama because it'll follow you throughout your life. Gossips, I mean, that is a lifetime thing if you are a gossip. But don't be part of drama. I mean, some people seek it out, but try and stay out of it. And don't hold a grudge. That's a great one. If someone's wronged you, try and look past it. Forgive. You don't have to forget, especially if it's something really bad, but you need to forgive. You know, have a heart. Maybe that person just messed up. We've all messed up. We've all had moments of weakness. We've all said things we didn't want to say. So don't hold a grudge because you may be missing out on a great friendship. Lunchtime advice. Don't go to the bathroom at lunch break. Don't go to the bathroom at lunch break. The bathrooms at lunch and during break time are like concert restrooms. If you've ever been to a restroom in a concert in between sets of bands, oh my gosh, Irvine Meadows was the worst. I loved Irvine Meadows, but like for bathroom breaks, it was always, the line was out the door. The guys' line usually moves faster than the girls' line, but man. Back to lunchtime advice. Don't get pizza at lunch. People will attack you for a slice. Now, this is not like pizza from the cafeteria. We have this, I think it's an epidemic, of parents bringing their kids lunch all the time. Kids will line up by the front of the school and wait for their parents to drop them off. This goes back to like the video from yesterday about fighting your own battles. Learn to pack your own lunch or buy your own lunch. If you're a parent and you're still dropping off lunch every day for your kid, you need a hobby or you need a job. Like seriously, you don't need to baby your children that much. There's nothing that infuriates me. There's probably a lot of things that infuriate me more. But this one really fires me up because you have parents that'll pick up a Little Caesars pizza for their kid, drop off the entire pizza, and then it's like freaking piranhas. Kids are just on that kid. Sure, it probably makes them feel popular for a moment, but what are you really teaching your kid when you're dropping off lunch for them every single day? We had a parent do that when I was teaching elementary school. They would bring Subway to their kid every single day. You really have that much money? If you have that much money, then donate more to the school. Stop buying $5 footlongs for your kid every single day. Oh my gosh, parents, stop. Knock it off. Let your kid grow up. You don't need to deliver Taco Bell. And we have parents that the kid will text their parent in between classes like, I'm really craving some Jamba Juice today. Sure enough, at lunchtime, mom's got a Jamba Juice for the kid. No, nope. You're creating this little overly needy child. Oh, it just makes me so mad. I would never do that for my kids. Never. Learn to survive on your own. It's school. They have lunches. You can pack your own lunch. It's part of life. Stop bringing stuff for your kids every day for lunch. I can understand maybe on a birthday, you take them to In-N-Out for their birthday. I get that. But on a daily basis, no. No. Okay? It's basically like you're still breastfeeding your kid, just in a different form. Ah! So gross, and knock it off. That one ticks me off, man. The lunch and snack line is extremely long. Bring your own lunch. Oh, right after that. Bring your own lunch. The lines do get very long and they move really slow because we have to type in their ID numbers, see how much money is in their account. If there isn't money, then they have to write a slip and let the parents know. And then you want to eat, you want to have time to socialize, bring your lunch. You'll be just fine. And this one was funny, but it was on multiple advice sheets. Apparently there was a twerking epidemic in the girls' bathroom last year. It says, don't twerk in the bathroom. So, and I said, surprisingly, several people mentioned this. I guess girls were practicing twerking in the bathroom. You're in junior high. So gross. Knock it off. Sports, this goes back to what I've said before about junior high. Get involved. And cheerleaders are not brats. That is the first half of advice. Okay, the first half of advice for incoming 7th graders. I'm not going to repeat it all because it's already too long. Tomorrow we're going to talk about how I survived my freshman year of high school. And it's very interesting. And then Thursday, we'll be doing another one of these advice sessions. So, thanks for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, hit that notification bell. Don't forget, Conquistadors, to be a better person tomorrow than you were today. And I'll see you next time on Round Like Me with the Chunky Spaniard. That's me, Scotty. Take care. Bye.